Happy Tuesday. I know I'm so late and I apologize for that, you guys. I honestly completely forgot that I was supposed to go live at 9:30 and Dave is home and he wanted to work out this morning. So I was like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. Like I don't have anything going on and I just completely blanked. And then at 9:30 I was with Owen and I was like, oh shoot, I was supposed to be on live. So I appreciate you understanding. And I know many of you are working anyways and just hope you have some time to catch this when you get a chance, because I promise you these 7 different ways that I'm going to be sharing over the next few weeks are things that you can take and you can apply to your life right now and start creating the best way of eating for your unique body. So you really don't want to miss out on any of these different ways that I'm sharing with you. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. And for any of you that are new, this is my 7-part series, which actually will end up being 8 parts because I broke this one down into 2, because otherwise it was going to be way too long. So next week I'll touch more upon it too. But so this is my 8-part series on how to balance your blood sugar. And if you don't know, if you're brand new to this group, I'm Megan Lafferty. I'm the owner of Wellness and Laughter, which is a wellness coaching practice. And what I do is I empower women who really lack time, who lack energy, but desire to live their best life and feel their absolute best. I help them make it a reality. So I help women feel radiant, confident, energized, and just overall healthy through unique group and one-on-one coaching programs, as well as I offer vegan and wellness, or vegan and botanically based wellness products. So you might not be looking for coaching services, but you might just need wellness products to help you to feel better, whether it's radiant skin that you're looking for, just to feel better on the inside by having wonderful nutrition products, or maybe you want to have amazing eyelashes by using a botanically based mascara. So I offer all of those services wrapped into one. So really what my clients take away is that they learn to be different without really having to think about being different. So in case you didn't know, last week I touched upon the second step of balancing your blood sugar. And if you missed out on that, don't worry, because the video, I've made it an announcement. So all of my videos I'm going to mark as announcements so you can easily access them. Let me just think. Yeah. And I also have 2 other videos on the importance of balancing your blood sugar, and one on the first tip to balancing your blood sugar, which I highly recommend taking a peek at those. They're not very long, and this way you have a complete understanding of the importance of balancing your blood sugar and why you're wanting to do it. So I just want to remind anyone who hasn't heard this to remember there are 3 main components to consider when you're trying to create the perfect way of eating for your unique body. And that is balancing, sourcing, and timing of macronutrients. And if you're not sure what macronutrients are, they are fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, nutrients that your body requires and needs to function at its best. So these next, I guess it'll be 5 weeks, we'll be focusing on the balancing portion of your macronutrients. So you're going to really want to dig in and absorb as much of this goodness as possible. Now, without further ado, let's dig in to the third way you can start balancing your blood sugar today, and this is to add healthy fats into your meal. Now, fats are one of 3 macronutrients that provide energy and a host of other health benefits for the body, like growth and development. Fat nourishes your skin, your hair, your nails. It helps us absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamins A, E, D, and K. It also helps to regulate hormones, and it maintains a steady metabolism. It kind of cushions our organs. Fats also keep us warm by insulating the body, and they actually reduce inflammation in the body, which is extremely important. And we'll learn all about that in just a little bit. And you're also going to learn about the different types of fats. So there's 3 different types of fats. There's trans fats, saturated fats, and unsaturated fats. That also contain another group called essential fatty acids. That unsaturated fats contains these essential fatty acids. And the reason that they're called essential is because the body can't make them from other materials. So they must be consumed. But before we get more deep into that, and unsaturated fats is everything I'm going to touch on next week. So before we talk about unsaturated fats, let's take a look at how fats affect your blood sugar, because I feel that's important for you to have that knowledge. So similar to proteins, because we talked about proteins last week, and that's one of the ways that you can balance your blood sugar. Fats have a more complex molecular structure than a simple carbohydrate, for example. So it takes the digestive system longer to break fats down. So this means that the other foods that you've eaten along with the fat will take longer to absorb into the bloodstream than they may have if they had been eaten all by themselves. Now, not all fats are created equal. So let's talk about which fats are the highest quality and which ones are the lowest quality. We're going to talk about what to eat and what not to eat. Now, just so you understand again what I was saying with the healthy fats, if you have a healthy fat with a complex carbohydrate, it'll take your body longer to absorb it into the bloodstream. Whereas if you were just to have like a simple carbohydrate or just a complex carb by itself, your body is going to break it down a lot quicker. Whereas if you have the healthy fat, it aids in the digestion and absorption of it. So let's start with the lowest quality fat, which I bet some of you can guess, and that's trans fat. Now, trans fats occur naturally, but many are man-made, and therefore your body has a difficult time recognizing and ultimately processing them. Now, man-made or artificial trans fats are created by adding a hydrogen molecule to liquid vegetable oils in order to make them more solid. Now, why would anybody do this? Well, the intention behind this was to increase the stability of foods and prolong their shelf life. So therefore increasing the amount of time that it can take on the shelf or stay on the shelf. So that's good for food manufacturers. It was also used to increase the amount of times oil could be used for frying in restaurants. And it's also used to increase the flavor and the texture of the processed foods. However, trans fats are harmful because they've been shown to lower your HDL, which is the good or beneficial type of cholesterol. And they've also been shown to cause accelerated aging, heart disease, and cancer. So how do you figure out if a food you're eating has trans fat in it? Because that's really important to know. A simple way to determine if trans fats are in the products that you're eating is to look for the term partially hydrogenated oils on food labels. And here are just 10 foods where partially hydrogenated, that's like a tongue twister. I dare you to say it 10 times. Partially hydrogenated oils are often found cakes, pies, cookies, biscuits, breakfast sandwiches, margarine, whether it's a stick or a tub, crackers, microwave, popcorn, cream-filled candies, donuts, fried fast foods, and frozen pizza. Now here's what's important when it comes to figuring out whether or not what you're eating contains trans fat. So a food label can legally actually say 0 grams trans fat, but it still may have some trans fat in it. So if a food item contains less than 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving, it can be labeled as 0 grams of trans fat on the packaging. So the best way to avoid trans fat is to make sure the ingredient list of the food you're choosing does not say partially hydrogenated oil. So just be mindful and take a look at those food labels. If it says partially hydrogenated oil on there, you want to steer clear of it. So let's switch gears and just quickly talk about saturated fat. Now, what is saturated fat? Saturated fats are basically solid in room temperature. They can be found in meats, dairy, some baked goods, fried foods, some plant-based oil like palm and kernel oil, palm oil, and coconut oil. Now, here's the thing. Like all things in nutrition, there are plenty of people who are saying saturated fat is terrible for you. And there are plenty of people who are going to swear that it's not bad for you. Now, a great example of this is there's been a recent, I don't know how recent anymore, but there was this whole thing about coconut oil. Many people swear by its health benefits and others say coconut oil is awful for you. So really, you want to know, is it good or bad for you? So let's look at the specific saturated fat in a little bit more depth, because it turns out all saturated fats are not actually created equally. So back in the 1930s, there was this dentist named Dr. Weston Price who traveled throughout South Pacific examining traditional diets and their effect on dental and overall health. And he found that those eating diets with coconut products were really healthy and trim, despite the high fat concentration in their diet. And he found that heart disease was virtually non-existent. And this is so fascinating to him. So he started researching the health benefits of coconut oil. And his findings suggested that coconut oil can help promote heart health, promote weight loss, support your immune system, support a healthy metabolism, provide you with an energy source, keep your skin healthy and youthful looking, and support the proper functioning of your thyroid. So I don't know about you, but all those benefits sound amazing to me. Coconut oil also contains beneficial, I'm not sure on the pronunciation of this, but I think it's percilic acid, which is an antimicrobial, and lauric acid, which is antiviral and antibacterial. And let's just say it is very beneficial to you. But let me see. Now, something else that makes coconut oil really unique is that it's made from something called medium chain fatty acids, or MCFA, so medium chain fatty acids. And medium chain fatty acids have a total different effect on the body from that of a typical long chain fatty acid that's found in meat and vegetable oils. So because coconut oil has a shorter chain and they're a medium chain, they can be rapidly broken down and sent directly to the liver to be metabolized and turned into energy, making them readily available to be used as fuel and less likely to be stored as fat. So medium chain fatty acids don't produce an insulin spike in your bloodstream. So there's no blood sugar roller coaster when you eat them. So that's how you know. I wanted to let you know that coconut oil is in fact a healthy, beneficial oil that you can use for cooking. You can I know people that use it to wash their face. So there's many benefits to it. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of the science behind that. So I'm going to end today's live session here, as that was a ton of information to process. And you may want to or need to watch it again to truly grasp all that has been shared. To just recap, I just talked about how you want to start incorporating healthy fats into your diet. When I say diet, it's just a way of eating to help you maintain that balance of your blood sugar. And I talked about the top unhealthiest one, which is trans fats. And I shared a little bit about saturated fats and how all saturated fats are not created equally. And we touched upon how coconut oil is a saturated fat, but it's actually very healthy for you. Next week, I'm going to talk about the unsaturated fats, which are the best fats to be including into your way of eating and to help you balance your blood sugar. So what I would love for you to share and what I would love for you to do is go ahead and share your biggest takeaway. To just pop it in the comments below. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? And I want you to really just be mindful of the foods you're eating and know that not all fat is bad for you and healthy. And you want to take a look at those labels and remember to look for the term hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated oil. If it says that, it's a trans fat and you want to steer clear of it. So just take that away from this week. Start to be more mindful about the choices that you're making in your food and just be mindful about what your labels are saying. And as I said, I'd love for you to comment below and share your biggest aha or takeaway from this video. And feel free to tag or invite a friend, family member, or even a coworker to this group who you think may find it beneficial. Spread the love and share the knowledge and positivity their way. And together, let's transform and create this amazing world that's filled with confident, radiant, energized, and positive women. And the only way I can continue to spread my message is with your love and your continued support. And that just starts with your comments, sharing, and your invites. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being in this group. And I hope you all have a fabulous day. And I will see you next week.